Good day, fellow faculty and administrators of the university. How many times have you received a notification on your phone and open your email app to see this? You can see this email here. I blurred out the address to keep the user anonymous, but there's actually no name on it. Also, we don't really know what it's about without a proper subject line. So we do need to open it to see how important it is. First, well, you can see there's an improper greeting here. Have you eaten today? Why would they want to know that? And we don't know the pertinent information in this email until we see this center line here. They're going to be absent from class today. Okay, but who are you? Well, we don't know that either because there's not a closing or even a name on this email. Well, sorry, student, but if we don't know who you are, how can we take account of your absence? Moreover, why is there all this empty white space throughout the email? You can probably see that these are the kinds of emails I receive often from my students. Clearly, they practice a number of faux pas in their email communication that are not going to benefit them in their correspondence with us in the university. Well, some of you on the board may not know me, but I am Brent, an instructional designer and business communications professor here at the university. Today, I want to talk with you about a new learning experience I'm proposing for our students, the keys of email communication. Throughout my decade of corresponding with South Korean students, I see that the etiquette and conventions they practice are often quite different from what's expected in an American context. This mismatch wastes time, and it can give their instructors a negative impression of them. This is especially important given that these students in our dual degree programs are planning to continue their studies in the United States. If not remedied, it could hinder not only their future studies, but also their careers. To solve this, I propose a simple 20-minute learning experience that I call the Keys of Email Communication. Students across all of our dual degree programs should undertake it. Throughout this course, students will acquire key skills of email communication that are useful to others and positively impacts how others view them as professionals. Moreover, this brief lesson aligns perfectly with what our counterparts in U.S. universities have been asking us to do more of now. Have students practice more English writing and communication. Specific to this learning experience, students will learn and practice skills to make their electronic communication by email save time and be more courteous to those that read them, as well as be easier to read and more logically organized. So let's see a broad overview of the course and how it would be implemented. As usual, I used a UbD framework to begin this plan. This includes considering the desired results, the evidence of the skill being learned, and a plan for teaching it. I've already mentioned the desired results of improved email communication. So let's look at how we would assess the student's learning as evidence. So for the evidence of learning, it's important to remember assessments are a form of feedback for the students on their learned skills. And we also want to give them multiple opportunities to practice it. So to do this, we want assessments that happen over time. So these would be, for immediate feedback, completing a brief multiple choice quiz on the topics covered in the lectures. For more authentic practice and feedback available within a few days, the main assessment would be students composing an email written to an imaginary employer and then evaluated by their peers and the instructor. And for longer-term application and feedback on their skills, at different points in each of their courses, they would compose additional emails as part of existing assignments in their current classes. This is a simple task that I already incorporate into all of my own classes, and all of us can implement very easily. As for the plan of teaching, I propose that in a 20 minutes or less experience, we have students complete first a simple controlled pre-assessment email, such as informing a professor they will be absent for class. Next, a 5 to 8 minute instructional video or interactive covering the 3 core conventions we want our students to learn. And finally, post-assessments, which are the evidence I mentioned earlier, a quiz, a main assessment email, and follow-up emails. As for the 3 core conventions, I have already chosen some common errors committed by most of our students, including the subject topic, the salutation and valediction, and the format and spacing of the email body. By now, I'm sure you agree with me that this learning experience needs to happen, and it will be very beneficial for our students. So then, what are the next steps? Well, I want feedback from you to see what critical email communication areas you deem most pressing. Perhaps you think there's an area that I overlooked. Once agreed upon, I will move forward with the course design and development. The course will be approved by the heads of each department. And finally, we can test and launch it. For your information, here are some of the research references I've used on education. And here are some of the images I've used in the presentation. So that is the end